Today, we're going to talk about coping with COVID-19 anxiety. So now let's talk about changing what we do, interrupting self-defeating behavior. Activities are really important. Taking action is essential for dealing with anxiety and depression. When your heart is pumping, your gut is churning, and you can't even catch your breath, it's not going to be possible to practice positive self-talk. More likely, you're going to be telling yourself, I'm short of breath, I'm having trouble breathing, I've got a fever, I'm hot, I must have COVID-19, I'm going to die. Or on the other hand, another consequence, as we mentioned, your body, if you are immobilized by inertia and fatigue and lack of motivation, thinking is usually not enough to get you out of that slump. And it will be really hard to think of positive things, so you're more likely to also feel shame and guilt and go into that downward spiral, a result of not doing anything. It's very important to take action. Doing something that you actually have control over gives you more realistic and slightly more positive evidence that you can cope. This is better than the 100% belief that nothing you can do helps. It gives you evidence of your capacity and your ability, which gives you more motivation and reverses that downward self-defeating spiral. When we talk about actions, we're talking about behavior, behavioral goals, things we can do. First of all, we need to break them down into smaller pieces to make them manageable. Making goals more modest and realistic makes it easier to start, less likely to put off. And you can also quit earlier and still have a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. SMART goals are something that comes out of motivational theory. SMART is an acronym. S stands for specific, which is that goals should be straightforward, clear, and easy to remember, not too vague or general, emphasizing the specifics, where, what, how, when, of what we want to happen. This helps us to focus our efforts more specifically. M is for measurable. Choose a goal with measurable, concrete criteria so you can observe change and measure progress towards the attainment of your goal. A is for attainable. A goal should stretch you slightly, but it must remain possible, even given a bad day, a bad week, or a bad hour, so you don't get discouraged. If it feels too big, you're not even going to start. R is for realistic. It needs to be doable, not necessarily easy, as we mentioned, stretching you, but it's got to be realistic. Goals need to fit with your mental, physical, and situational limitations, vulnerabilities, and your abilities. T is for timely. Set a time frame for the goal. Tonight, a couple of days, week from now, 3 months. That is measurable and realistic. Putting an endpoint to the goal gives you a clear target to work towards, and it is also likely to reduce procrastination. Another strategy for helping to focus goals that will give you a bit more success is called the 5-minute rule. It comes out of the book Mind Over Mood and the teachings of Christine Pedetsky and Dennis Greenberger. This involves trying an activity for just 5 minutes and then being free to continue or to stop doing it. So again, this is an activity that you've already broken it down with a SMART goal, so it's very specific and small. So you just start doing something in the direction of it for 5 minutes, then you can stop with permission and get credit for it. Give yourself the check mark that you've accomplished the goal. Because any action, however small, is a change from paralysis, and it provides a boost in motivation and energy. Further talking about activities, there are aspects of activities that can make them more likely to be helpful. First is that they captivate your interest. This will help to distract your brain from the catastrophizing. Also that you find them pleasant or entertaining to help you feel better. And this is also recognizing that people have very different tastes. The kind of music you like may not be the kind of music I like. Just a note, when we talk about distraction though, all good things in moderation. There is a difference between watching Netflix and binging on Netflix. Again, we talk about balance, and middle ground is about how we get more mentally healthy. Activities are also more helpful if they give you a sense of accomplishment. As we mentioned, if you've been putting things off, break it down, choose one aspect of something you've been putting off, get a sense of accomplishment, and that's going to help your motivation, help you feel better, and again, reduce shame and guilt. Finally, activities that are in line with your values are going to help you feel better. If you're doing something that helps others, that's going to increase your sense of ability and capacity, as well as the idea that we're trying to do something, especially in the face of this pandemic and helplessness.